Do you know what? I just can't believe it. Every now and again somebody sends me a video from this group of vegans who've made a lovely little montage of where food's transported from, and they show you how much planes carry food. But don't they understand that their tomatoes, their lettuce, their cucumbers, everything that they're chomping on is carried on a lorry as well? Oh my God. If you want to make a difference, eat local, eat seasonal, eat healthy British grub, and definitely eat plant-based beef and lamb. Plant-based beef and lamb is the best protein that you'll ever get. So there you are. I am very plant-based. Have a look at this video. It's absolutely crazy. I don't think their food travels in lorries. It comes from the sky.
If you transport 1 ton of food with a truck for 1 kilometer, it causes 200 grams of CO2. Transporting it by train is 50 grams, and by boat it's surprisingly low. But air transport has a huge footprint. So should we do our best to avoid air transported food? Let's see. When you look at all global food miles, 31% is covered by truck. 10% happens by train. Almost 2/3 of all food miles are done by boat. And only 0.016% of food miles are air transport. So when we look at the total emissions for food transport, only 0.4% comes from air. Shipping food across the oceans only causes 3.5%, rail transport is 15%, and 81% of the climate impact of food transport happens at the local level by road. So trying to reduce food miles doesn't make a real difference for the climate. Especially since all of this transport is only around 5% of the total climate impact of food. Just the methane from cow burps is already 3 times more. In other words, don't focus on buying local beef, but replacing beef.
I've said this about avocados a long time ago. We can see these so-called environmentalists drinking their oatmeal lattes and eat their avocados on toast, believing they're saving the planet. Well done, Alan Titchmarsh, for what he has to say here. Please have a listen. Fantastic.
Because I think, no, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to have one of those 25,000 hectares of trees chopped down on my behalf. And if you look at where your avocados come from, there are lots of different places they come from, but the majority of them come from Mexico, where, would you believe, 25,000 hectares of rainforest is felled every year to grow a monoculture of avocados. Each kilo of fruit takes 1,000 litres of water to produce in an area which is pretty much ridden by drought. The monoculture that is existing there now, with all these swathes of rainforest reducing biodiversity to grow avocados, means that pest incidence is high because it's a huge monoculture. So more and more pesticides are poured onto soil, which is becoming more and more depleted of nutrients of life. And then when they've all grown, we put them on in a large tanker and bring them over 5,000 miles of ocean so that we can have them on toast and boast how environmentally friendly we are. And it just struck me as an absurdity that people should just know what's gone into bringing that avocado to their doorstep.
Do you think they should
Very
be
high carbon footprint?
Do you think they should be treated a bit like foie gras? That if you and I sat down for a meal and I sat there slurping down foie gras, you might look at me askance. Should we regard avocados in a similar ethical light?
I really think we should. I mean, our consumption of them has gone up threefold over the last 20 years. We're now sort of obsessed with them. If we regarded them as a luxury, then there wouldn't be the demand for this deforestation on such a grand scale and the reduction of, valuable rainforests, which helps with our environment. And we're depleting that, and the carbon footprint is ever higher for something like avocados. We just need to know, before we make the decision that we want that gooey stuff on our toast, just remember what it's done to get it to you.
So are you saying, Alan Titchmarsh, now you will never eat another avocado?
I haven't eaten the avocado for 5 years. I have boycotted. I'm not by nature a very strident activist, no. But I have not eaten avocado for 5 years because I think, no, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared to have one of those 25,000 hectares of trees chopped down on my behalf. I think we should all reduce the amount of avocado we eat, put it that way. Let's be practical about it. I'm not really finger wagging. I just wanted to make everybody aware of what's happening to rainforests as a result of our demand increasing increasing for avocados.
I really hope this makes people think, and I hope it educates people about food production and how our country is very good at growing that green stuff behind me, which is grass, in a temperate climate where we can transport that into top quality protein, beef, lamb, milk, cheese, yogurts, ice cream. All these things come from a plant-based diet, which is grass. So start listening to the people that are feeding you, the farmers, and stop listening to these misleading misinformation that's making people unwell mentally, physically, emotionally, and let's build a better Britain on our bellies. Don't forget, follow a farmer. Average sunrise on our farm. Do you think these grass munching cattle are causing the so-called climate disaster? Or is it them big birds in the sky? You tell me.